Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here's another hidden gem on Amazon that's a clone of the Hoyt Satori ILF Recurve bow. It's called the TBOW ILF Recurve, and the question everyone's asking is whether this budget bow really is good as the legendary Satori. I mean, we're talking about a bow that costs less than a third of what a Satori runs. Can it possibly deliver the same shooting experience? Well, I've been putting arrows through the 40-pound version of this T-bow for a few months now, and I've got some thoughts to share. Let's talk about whether this clone is the real deal or just another overhyped piece of gear that shoots like a 2x4 with string on it. Before we get into my experience, let's talk about what an ILF bow is in the first place. ILF stands for International Limb Fitting, and it's basically the Swiss Army knife of bow systems. You can swap limbs, adjust tiller, add shelf module plates, and fine-tune everything. Want to work your way up from 35 pounds to 50? Just buy new limbs, not a whole new bow. That's the kind of flexibility that makes sense whether you're a broke college kid or just someone who appreciates not throwing money away. When I unboxed this T-bow, the first thing that struck me was how solid the riser felt. The 19-inch CNC machined aluminum riser has some real heft to it, coming in at about 3.4 pounds. The forest green powder coating looks clean and professional. I'm talking no rough edges, no casting flaws that I could find, none of that bargain bin nonsense you sometimes see with budget clones. The grip felt comfortable right away, and my hand locks into a consistent position every time. If you're new to ILF bows, don't just try to wing it during the setup. The included instructions were not in English, but there are lots of helpful videos on YouTube. The limb alignment matters, the tiller adjustment matters, all of it makes a difference. Once I got everything dialed in though, this bow just felt right in my hands and shot great. The 40-pound draw weight at my 28-inch draw length hits that sweet spot for me. It's enough weight to be effective for hunting whitetail, but I can shoot it all afternoon without my shoulders screaming at me the next morning. And here's something I really appreciate. Because it's ILF, I can back those limbs down a couple pounds if I want to work on form, or I can upgrade to heavier limbs if needed. The bow came with everything you need to start shooting. BCY-D97 Flemish twist string, which is actually pretty nice, a bow stringer, first string silencers, rest pad, the pad, and the adjustable shelf module plates. Alright, let's talk more about the bow's shooting performance. The first thing I noticed when I drew it back was how smooth the draw cycle is. Now a lot of that comes down to those Gordon glass limbs with the bamboo core. The bamboo gives you this natural flex that just feels organic in your hand. There's very little stacking even as I get to full draw. It just pulls back nice and clean with no surprises. The limbs store energy efficiently without that abrupt wall you get with cheaper fiberglass limbs. When I release, there's almost no hand shock. I mean none. It's completely dead in your hands. I've shot bows that cost 3 times as much that don't shoot this nice. Those Gordon limbs are doing some serious work here. The bamboo core has this perfect balance of stiffness and flexibility that translates to a draw cycle that feels linear and predictable. You're not fighting the bow at any point in the draw, and that makes a huge difference in consistency shot after shot. At the range, I've been consistently grouping well at 20 yards, which is my go-to practice distance. I'm shooting carbon arrows around 530 grains, and they're flying fast and flat at 172 feet per second. That's plenty fast for shooting hunting whitetail at the distances I'm comfortable shooting. I can also go lighter to a 380 grain arrow and hit 194 feet per second for shooting 3D ranges. The shelf shoots great with the fur rest pad. I've been shooting off the shelf rather than using a flipper rest because I'm a glutton for punishment and like doing things the hard way. Arrow flight has been clean. No weird wobbles, no clearance issues, none of that "why is my arrow flying like a drunk hummingbird" nonsense. The adjustable shelf module plates that come with it let you fine-tune your center shot, which is something the Hoyt Satoris are known for. One thing I will say, without the string silencers and modifications, this bow is loud. but throw those silencers on with felt on the limbs and in the limb pockets, and it quiets right down to a nice hunting bow. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Is this as good as a Hoyt Satori? I've only shot a Satori a few times, but it feels and looks every bit as good to me. I've also done some research, and people who own both say they're remarkably similar in feel and performance. The dimensions are identical, the weight is the same, and the shooting characteristics are comparable. The TBOW is essentially an exact Satori clone and costs less than a third of the price. So here's my take. If you handed me a Satori and this TBOW without telling me which was which, could I tell the difference? I seriously doubt it. The only difference I can find is more color options with the limbs, such as camo patterns. Would that difference be worth $400 extra to most shooters? I honestly don't think so. For someone like me who wants a taste of the Satori experience without taking out a second mortgage, this is a no-brainer. I've put several hundred arrows through this bow so far, and it's holding up great. The limbs have shown no signs of fatigue or twist. The string is still in good shape, though I've been waxing it every few weeks like you should with any bowstring. The finish on the riser has also held up well. I haven't babied this thing. It's been on the 3D range, it's been in the truck, it's seen some real use. No chips, no significant wear. The hardware is solid and nothing's come loose on me yet. One thing to keep in mind, you need to maintain this like any other ILF bow. Check your limb bolts periodically to make sure everything's tight. But honestly, that maintenance is part of the joy of traditional archery. It keeps you connected to your equipment in a way that modern compounds just don't. I should mention that I've seen a few older reviews where people had a few quality control issues, such as tool marks on the riser. I haven't experienced any of that, and my guess is that the company has cleaned that up since early production. The good news is that customer service seems responsive if any issues do come up. So here's my bottom line. The TBOW ILF Recurve has exceeded my expectations in every way. For the money, this bow delivers performance that rivals the Satori and other bows costing several times as much. If you're thinking about getting into ILF archery, or if you're an experienced shooter looking for an affordable, modern riser platform to experiment with, I can't recommend this bow enough. It shoots smooth, it's adjustable, it's well made, and at around $170 to $200, depending on where you buy it, it's an absolute steal. I've included a link on Amazon to the one I purchased for $179. Mine's a definite keeper. I can see this being a bow I come back to again and again, even if I eventually upgrade to more premium limbs down the road. Sometimes the budget option really is good enough, and this is one of those times. If you found this review helpful, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more traditional archery content. Drop a comment below if you've shot one of these TBOW risers, or if you have questions about it. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep those arrows flying straight.